like to call the Merit System Commission to order. It is 8:30 on March 6, 2025. May I have a roll, please?
Mr. Kempe?
Here.
Mr. Watts?
Here.
Mrs. Delph?
Here.
Mrs. Wasty?
Here. Did everybody have time to go over the minutes? Any changes or additions? So be it. First item of business, Police Division hiring, full-time police officer, lateral entry. Chief, what can you tell us?
Hi. I handed Karen the current list we have. Since we changed the process, I think it's moving along very well. We're getting a lot more applications because I think the ad stays up longer, more people see it. We are working our way through the list we have. At this point, we've made an offer to a cadet, and we are still doing her background. You'll see farther down on the list, towards the bottom, is Ava Williams for cadet. We've made her an offer, and we're completing her background. So as far as the lateral entry and entry level spots, we are still working through interviews and backgrounds. We've made no offers yet, but we have some suitable candidates. As soon as we have offers out and they've accepted for those, that'll probably happen before the next meeting. We'll probably ask Aaron to close the ad off the internet, if that's okay with the commission.
Fine. We were just hiring one.
I think we need two because in April, we'll have a sergeant. I'll probably ask for the sergeant process again. So I
Okay.
think that's been a suitable amount of time since I think we ran it in November, December, and we didn't get any qualified applicants for sergeant in-house. But now we have some more people that I think may be interested, some more people that are eligible. So we'll probably ask for that in April, and then I believe if that occurs, then we'll need two spots. So
Okay, but that would be another process.
that would be another process.
Okay. Anything else on this?
That's it.
Okay. Items,
It's nice to see a lot of names and there's some cadets on there. I mean,
I think times
how do
may
you
be
feel? Are
changing.
you getting a good response?
Yeah. There's some good quality candidates. So it's taken some time to get through some of the backgrounds,
Yeah.
but we're excited. So
yeah, should be.
But it's nice, somebody threw a party and they showed up.
yep.
All right.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We haven't seen a list like this in a while.
So
This long.
this is a couple months worth of names,
That's good.
and it's because we made the change of open until
How long did that last?
So this process has been open since I think December.
Something-
So we're leaving it, so we changed from a deadline to open until filled. So the ad stays up and we continuously get people applying, is what we've been doing.
Pleased with that. Okay, item 2, full-time police officer, entry level, Neil Opata.
Yeah, same thing.
Same
We're still-
list?
Yep, same list, everyone's on there. We're just working through the backgrounds.
Okay, and number 3, full-time police cadet,
We've
that's
got-
this
yep,
Ava
Yep,
Williams.
we've got an offer out to her and just finishing stuff up.
Okay, great.
And if you'd rather see the list in another format, I can do, I ran it down by date, the date that they applied. But that's easy for us, so.
But you do feel that we're going to be able to get the 2 people that we need?
I believe so, yep.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chief.
Next item of business, fire division hiring. Okay.
Keep these then?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Deputy Chief Wadagno. I'm here for Chief Kosminski. She had a training she had to attend.
Okay,
I'm here to update you on our hiring process. For entry level, we are finishing up the list. We have 2 that have been given job offers and start dates. They'll be starting next week. And we have 7 that did not move through the process for various different reasons. They were excluded, and I have a list for your reference if you hadn't gotten one emailed to you.
And there are reasons why they did not
Yes,
move?
they're on here.
Thank you.
And then for our lateral process, we only received 3 applicants. One was eligible, but he was eliminated during background checks. So at that point, we have no one left on the lateral process, and it has closed. Chief Kuzminski will be back in April to ask to open up the entry-level process. We still have 1 position open right now, with a possibility of a second one later in the year. We also have lieutenant testing after this, I'm sure you're aware of. That's what we're set up for today.
Yes. How many do we have testing?
3.
3? Okay. It's good to know that we've got more than 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Right.
And the list of the people that are not accepted, weeded out because of background checks, Karen will place that on file.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Westy,
Get a quick.
did we need a vote to certify that list?
Oh, yes. Well,
Okay.
no, because it's lateral. For the police, was,
There's lateral and.
There's 3.
yeah, we need to,
There's 3 lists. There's lateral, entry, and cadet right now.
and they're not all, yeah, but any lateral, we don't vote on.
Right. But they're all on the same list.
It doesn't matter. If they're all lateral,
Nope, there's, on the paper I gave you, there's entry level, lateral and entry level and cadet.
okay, so,
I can separate them. Or
Is
we can vote on it when it closes, when the process closes.
because the entry level, we gave a test.
Entry level, so the open competitive exam is now, the first stage is the interview, the scored
That's-
interview.
But the interview process isn't over.
It is over for the people that are on this list.
Okay,
But the process is not over.
right, I'm trying to remember, do we,
So how did we move them from the interview stage to the next stage because the process before was
All
test?
we're doing is
They're shuffling
replaced,
the Sequence
right?
testing. that we're talking about. As long as our 3 phases, as long as our rules are met,
let's be safe and approve the first stage. May I have a motion to approve the first stage of the police?
I will move that we approve the first stage of the testing as done and enumerated by the chief.
I'll second. And a vote.
Mr. Watts,
Yes.
Mrs. Delph,
Abstain?
Mrs. Wasty,
Yes,
Mr. Kempe.
Yes.
okay.
Thank you.
Now you're good.
You're good. We'll have to remember to do the second phase.
Thank you.
Okay, next item of business, we had the proposed MSC Rule 2 amendment.
Thank you, Ms. Wasty. Just a little bit of background on this. The reason I have suggested a rule change for Rule 2 and the definition of appointing authority, this came about last year, I believe. In looking at the charter provides at section 5.3, I believe it is. I can get that in front of me. 5.3, that the city manager has the authority, power and authority to, quote, appoint and remove all officers and employees of the city. There was a line in the personnel manual at that point in time that provided the finance director with the power and authority to appoint finance director employees. And looking at the charter, that appeared to me to be in direct conflict with the charter, which indicates that the city manager is the ultimate appointing authority for removal and appointment of all city employees. Therefore, City Council on September 12th of last year adopted Ordinance 2165-24, which made this same revision to the personnel manual. Recently, in looking at the MSC rules, and I don't know when that was adopted, I know the personnel manual, it looks like that was put in there in 2002. I don't know the history of that. So in looking at the MSC rules, I wanted to make sure the MSC rules were consistent with the charter and with the personnel manual, which has now been revised. That's why I'm suggesting the revision, which I believe is in the packet, to that rule. And if the Merit System Commission agrees, then what we would need is a first reading, which we could do today, and then a second reading consistent with your rules at least 7 days out from today.
Yeah, 7. Should we do the first reading?
We haven't reading.
We haven't had the reading.
No, oh, we're doing the,
First reading, and then we'd have to do a second reading no sooner than 7 days,
right.
which it would probably be in April.
That's fine. I mean, there's no rush. I just wanted to at least get the process going so we could do that. And, you know, you could just make the motion to revise the MSC Rule 2, Section 2, to appointing authority as indicated in the revision that I have attached to this packet.
If we can we have just an open reading right now? Bring it to our attention.
I think that would work better, and then next month we'll do the
First
first
reading?
reading. So
Yep,
let's
that's
have an
fine.
open reading.
Yep. That's fine. You want me to go ahead and read it?
If you would,
Please.
please.
Okay, so the proposed MSC Rule 2 amendment would be Rule 2, Definition of Terms, Section 2, Appointing Authority. The city manager will appoint and/or remove all officers and employees of the city in the classified service except those within the Department of Law and the Clerk of Council as provided in the charter. The officers and employees in these departments will be appointed or removed by the respective director. So that would be as the rule reads if adopted with 2 readings of approval.
And what does the MSC rules state to that same effect?
Right now,
Right now.
it indicates that the city manager will appoint and/or remove all officers and employees of the city in the classified service except those within the Departments of Finance and Law and the Clerk of Council as provided in the charter. The officers and employees in these departments will be appointed or removed by the respective director.
In my opinion, is not the city clerk directly appointed by and governed by city council
Council.
only?
But does not council appoint members to the committees?
Yes. But this says, well, it says officers and employees of the city.
See, that would take city council, let's just say the city clerk, then would fall underneath the city manager as far as hiring and firing, not the city council. When she or he is directly employed by city council. Same way with the finance director.
What I could do is revise it to, as I'm reading through what council adopted in the ordinance, what council adopted in the ordinance for the personnel manual says, the appointing authority is authorized by law to make personnel appointments to city positions. The city council is the appointing authority for the city manager, clerk of council, director of Department of Finance, and director of Department of Law. The city manager is the appointing authority for all other positions. So I could revise it to make it consistent with that, bring it back. That way, they would both read the same.
I know this is a little step over, a little bit reach for the Merit Commission here, but I believe that would be more consistent with what the original fathers of the city's charter
Yeah.
introduced.
And what I did was I just took the current rule and made that one little revision. But what we can do is make it consistent with what council adopted in its ordinance in September 12th of last year, which is what's now in the personnel manual, which I believe is consistent with 5.3B of the charter, which the charter governs. So I just want to make the rules consistent with what the charter says. So that might be the best thing is let me just revise it more, bring it back to April, and then we can
Go for
have a
it.
first
Go
reading
from
there
there.
if that's what you want to do.
Okay, we'll
Yep.
table it for now.
Yep.
Thank
Fine with
you.
me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Any other business? Meeting adjourned at 8:44.